You know, something you've heard me say probably at this point 1,000 times over is that all successful transformation is going to be rooted in an identity change. All lasting and successful transformation in your life will be rooted in an identity change, which means that you must become a new individual. You must become a new person. And that new person has a new set of identities, habits, routines, values, principles, standards at which he lives his life by. I talked about it in one of the first episodes. Jordan Peterson, who has been one of the most influential people in my life and the work that we're doing here with Rebuilt Recovery, talks about all successful recovery from an addiction requires a spiritual transformation. So in today's episode of The Rebuilt Man, I'm literally going to hand you the framework for a spiritual death and resurrection. We have to identify the parts of ourselves that must die. And we must be clear on the new parts of ourselves that we must begin to create and become. Because if you're going to succeed at breaking free from this addiction to porn and masturbation, it will not happen without you becoming a new man. So today's framework is an exercise taken from the first month of our program. So if you've ever thought about, hey, what does Frank do with his students and clients? Today's episode is going to give you a glimpse behind the scenes of how we get underneath some of the layers of this addiction, begin to pull and rip apart that old self and put together, build and create that new version of ourselves. So it's a 3-part assignment that's going to walk you through, like I said, the death of the old self and the creation of the new you. But before we do that, guys, if you're getting value out of these episodes, you're listening on the audio side, after today's episode, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an upcoming episode. And we'd love to hear from you guys. And if you want to support us, you can do so by leaving us a 5-star rating and written review. And for those of you watching on the YouTube, did you know that roughly 60% of our viewers come from non-subscribers? So take a moment right now, hit that subscribe button, turn those post notifications on, because we're dropping 3 episodes a week with various clips spread out throughout the rest of the week. Spiritual death and transformation. What I want you to do is I want you to grab a piece of paper right now. And on that paper, you're going to write all the parts about yourself that are keeping you addicted to porn and masturbation. The guilt, the shame, the regrets, the habits, the environments. Are there past triggering moments? Are there past traumas within your life that you still are holding on to? Don't spend 5 minutes on this assignment. Don't spend 5 minutes writing this out. Take some time to actually think about the part of yourself that still wants porn in his life. Because whether you want to accept it or not, if you're struggling with an addiction to porn and masturbation, there's a part of yourself that wants that behavior, or you wouldn't keep returning back to it. Is it the loneliness? Is it the isolation? Is it the lack of purpose? Is it the lack of meaning? Is it the need to chase pleasure? Is it every time you win in life, you go reward yourself with pornography? Write that out. Put that clear on paper. But start by identifying all the parts of yourself right now that are contributing and keeping you addicted to porn and masturbation. I want you to take that piece of paper and I want you to review it. I want you to analyze it. I want you to feel those parts of you inside of you. Why haven't we let them go yet? What are we still holding on to? And what we're going to do with this piece of paper is in a safe and controlled environment, a bowl, a bucket, somewhere. I want you to take that paper and I want you to light it on fire. And I want you to sit and watch as the paper burns and as the smoke elevates into the air. I want you to see and feel those parts of you on that paper dying inside of you. This is very transformative work, very deep-rooted spiritual practices. Feel those parts of you leaving your body, the guilt, the shame, the years and years and years of addictive behaviors, leaving your core, leaving your body. Now we're gonna grab a second piece of paper, a clean piece of paper. And on that one, we're gonna write the man that we must become. What new habits, what new routines, what new relationships, what new pursuits, what new passions must we embark on? What things must we stop doing? How does our physical health take a priority in our life? How does our mental health take our priority in our life? What does our continuing education, what books are we reading? What personal development are we putting ourselves through? Everything about the man that you must become to live a porn-free life must be clearly identified and written on that piece of paper. Now, just like you wrote the old self out and you felt that embodied inside of you, once you've completed this second piece of paper, read through it. Envision yourself living those qualities, those traits, those values out in your day-to-day life. If you need to be in a new job, envision yourself in that new job. If you need to be in a new relationship, envision yourself in that new relationship. If you need certain male friends and relationships, envision yourself with those men. Where do you find them? And just don't do this exercise once. For the next 30 days, every day you wake up, spend time in this reflective visualization and meditative exercise so you can begin to walk this new identity out. We've killed off the old self. We've gotten clear on the man that we must become. Now it's on us to begin to live that out on a day-to-day basis. Now you may be asking yourself right now, Frank, this exercise would be great, but I don't know who I need to become. I don't know what I need to do. That's the missing piece in my life right now. I'm not going to cover that entirely in this episode, but I want to give you the tools to do it on your own. Put together 5-part training on how to identify a life and vision for yourself, 100% free of pornography. Walks you through 5 steps to get radically clear on who you must become to live a porn-free life. Visit rebuiltrecovery.com/vision or click the link down there in the show notes or in the description box. But you got to start with a vision of who you can become. You got to follow that up with a death of the old self. And then you got to take action every single day on becoming that new man. Breaking free from an addiction doesn't happen in a day. It doesn't happen in a week. It happens over the course of a lifetime. But you got to know where your life is taking you and who it is you're becoming. rebuiltrecovery.com/vision or click the link down there in the show notes, guys. But if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn those post notifications on. If you're consuming this on the audio side, guys, hit subscribe, rate, review. But Coach Frank Rich here, guys. Your freedom will be found in your new identity. Understand that. God bless you guys. Rebuilt Recovery, the Real Built Man Show. We love you. And we'll see you in the next one.